This is a clip from a recent Pops live stream or video. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next one.
An interesting time to cover movie news, but I do feel like there are some positive things, at least to talk about a little bit. And one of those was the fact that I think Taylor Sheridan and Peter Berg, this is a decent enough combo to be tapped for Call of Duty. I don't totally think it's great to see Paramount doing this project, but if we're going to do one, at least we're going to get, the article refers to him as the Yellowstone guy, but let's be honest, I think he's better served in the Call of Duty stuff because of what he's done with Mayor of Kingstown and Tulsa King. Peter Berg, of course, I think is probably his biggest claim to fame would be his success with Lone Survivor, and it's a really good movie. He's worked on some of the other stuff. I don't care for the Lioness Show, which is also mentioned in Deadline's article of this kind of thing. I think that the Call of Duty IP, this video game franchise, is massive, and that if they were to rock and roll with the right kind of teaser trailers and stuff out there, this could open with a huge open and go from there. Even if it's just mediocre, I think it could just open big because people could, if it just rocks and rolls the right kind of cast, the right kind of trailer. So, James, my friend, thoughts on Call of Duty and them even making a film right now?
Well, I mean, it just makes sense. That seems to be the direction Hollywood is going, since they've already, burned out sequels, prequels, and remakes. They've burned out superheroes. They've burned out novels. They've burned out all these other things that they've used and abused over the last 10, 15 years. It's only naturally going to move to video games, I guess. And again, Call of Duty, like is probably one of the biggest out there. So it just seems natural that they would make a movie about the game itself. Something based on that game, because it's just, as you said, just huge. It's like a worldwide phenomenon. And, people always love war movies and things like that. So the movie with the military, it just seems natural. And so I can't understand, I'm shocked to see this happening. It's actually pretty much, exactly par for the course of what I would expect from Hollywood these days.
Tay, the article says Call of Duty is one of the most successful video game franchises of all time, has been a #1 best-selling video game series in the U.S. for 16 consecutive years, 500 million copies sold globally, reaches hundreds of millions of players worldwide. During your lifetime is when this kind of came into being and has exploded. You don't know a world where there wasn't Call of Duty. That it's sort of that big, I think, in your generation, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, Call of Duty is one of the biggest well-known games, especially when it just comes to the shooter style, which is known as the first-person shooter. I have never played it. I am not very good at first-person shooters. Kevin can attest to that. I get high anxiety, or I can't find what I need, and I just don't play it. But the concept is super popular with my generation, and I feel like it's expanding to the new generation as well. There's a lot of competitions that theme around this kind of style. It is definitely seems like they're going down the road as far as the cinema side of things, where they're covering more video game movies. We did see that with Minecraft and Mario, and we have seen throughout the years where they've covered a lot of other stuff. Warcraft was actually pretty good film coverage for that movie, and then they didn't really do much after that first film. So it's intriguing to me that they're taking it on the film route. So I'm intrigued as to what they're going to cover, since Call of Duty is so expansive and all of the different games that they've done. But I'm intrigued to see where it goes from here.
I'm excited to see what Sheridan Berg do as well, because they did Hell or High Water, which is sort of, it's a film I didn't really care for quite as much as most people did on the first one. I actually just did a rewatch video of that here a little while back, and really kind of grew on me a lot. They both received some Oscar nominations, I believe, for that. I think it got Best Picture and Screenplay nominations, and Sheridan and stuff worked out. I think they worked on Wind River, which I think is also a highly underrated movie, possibly like my top 20 underrated movies of all time. I think Wind River is a great sort of like found dead body crime thriller sort of story that Sheridan did with Jeremy Renner. It's just sort of like forgotten. I think one thing the article points out, James, is the fact that there's so much politicking and it always has been in Hollywood, right? But Sheridan's run now at Paramount is now on the clock. Like, he's got a 2019 contract that's going to come into play. Come to an end. He'll be moving over to Universal with a massive blockbuster deal. Do you think that we're going to see this Call of Duty thing kind of move really quickly?
I mean, if they're smart, that's the way to go. I mean, if he's getting ready to leave, the contract's about to be up, and he can bring, the eyeballs. He can fill those seats with any project he puts out. You definitely want to get that in before the contract ends. So I definitely think, we'll see this moving fairly quickly if that's the case.
Any other final thoughts on Taylor Sheridan being the guy they tapped for this? I mean, are you familiar with his work over on Paramount, the different shows and stuff like that that he's sort of like familiar with?
Yes and no. I've watched a few of them. I've watched a little bit of Yellowstone and really enjoyed it. Lioness is really, really good. I'm intrigued to see where it goes as far as the time frame, because you don't want to rush something too much forward, but you do want to make sure that you get it in before that deadline. So it'll kind of see where it goes from here and what choices that they make, and hopefully they're good ones.
Well, yeah, that is sort of like the devil in the details, right? Can it be good, and how fast, and can we move it along and not be too fast? Which is funny because we even have these kind of conversations, because in hindsight, they used to turn movies over really quickly. They used to actually have the script done before they would bring people in, and now it's just the order of things and everything is so different, and it's a little hard to get our head around what will work and what won't work. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope